Good evening, friends. Welcome back to Raju Notes channel. This is the part 2 of the November month update for current affairs and SMT. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe it and stay updated. Don't forget to press that bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you are getting the notification for it. And also, I'll please request you to pass it on to people who you think can be benefited from this quick updates for every fortnight. The RBI has given permission for two private companies to start up a sandbox program to check for their offline e-payment system. In present scenario, all e-payments require an internet, and thereafter the payment process is fulfilled. However, there are two companies which are now trying to do the e-payment system offline. For that, they require a certain data, and which will have probability connectivity with the actual gateways of the banks. But at the same time, they should also be in certain area where such fake data, or I'll say dummy data, or trial data has to be used. So it is basically, the sandbox is basically a protected environment wherein the startups will take using the dummy data for testing. So it is, maybe you can say, maybe at some particular area in which the financial transactions will be happening over the air signals of the mobile tower, and but they would be dummy data. So there will be a lot of agencies which will be involved in testing the gateways, security gateways, and all sorts of things. So takeaway point from this update is that you should know what is a sandbox regulatory program. The new update on the COVID-19 is that some of the patients are now developing something called as Guillain-Barré syndrome, and this is a syndrome which is autoimmune disorder wherein the immune system attacks the nerves. It causes reflex losses, muscle weaknesses, numbness, or tingling sensation in the body. Though this can be treated, but if you ignore that, it could lead to paralysis. The army has set up heated tents for soldiers deployed in Ladakh during winter, and it is approximately 50,000 troops are currently deployed in this region, and this system will certainly help the Indian Army soldiers to fight a much better war if required. The cold weather clothing system kits were recently acquired from the US for the Indian Army soldiers. The ex-president of Maldives, Mohammed Nasheed, had told that even if he sells his grandmother's jewelry, he will not be able to pay the Chinese debts. So basically, it means to say that Maldives itself finds itself in complete debt of China, and it fears of being overtaken by China. That's what is the Chinese practice, but that is why probably India is pitching in so hard to take Maldives off from the grips of China. Let's see how much does it progress. The plans to pull back the US troops from Afghanistan has been hailed by Taliban as a good step. Let's hope that US moves out, and the vacuum created by their move out can be either a big boon for the country or a disaster. Let's see how does this also figures out in future. Dalai Lama has said that China has no right to pick the next Dalai Lama, and rightly so. He has been maintaining this stance ever since, but China is held bent, saying that if they can sort out this issue, then the issue of Tibet is altogether over. But speculations are there. But at one point they should note that recently the Tibet's Prime Minister had visited the US White House. So US has given a kind of approval for Tibet, as a, or rather a kind of a recognition for Tibet. So again, a point to wait and watch. India presently will now have, rather it already has, two of the world's 100 most powerful supercomputers. The newest supercomputer, called as Param Siddhi AI, is based in Pune, and it has been ranked at 63rd in top 500 list of most powerful supercomputers in the world. It is the second Indian supercomputer, and The second one is called as Pratyush. It is a supercomputer used for weather forecasting, again in Pune. So there are two entries, one at the 63rd position and one at the 78th position. A matter to be proud of. And Australia and Japan have agreed in principle on landmark defense treaty. This is a very good step being taken by these two countries. Basically, they are or the outer fringes of that of what I'm say South China Sea. So it's a good thing. And in this, the reciprocal access agreement will allow Japanese and Australian troops to visit each other's countries and conduct joint operation. And reportedly, it's the first Japanese agreement covering foreign military presence in its soil since 1960. So let's see how it works out. The first launch hardware, not the software, it's probably the hardware for Gaganyaan mission was delivered by L&T, and this was a part of last time we covered in our update that ISRO is open to private partners in its program. So you can this is that probably that example wherein the L&T Powai Aerospace Manufacturing company in Mumbai has given a hardware which has a diameter about 3.2 meters and length of 8.5 meters. Uh, let's see how well we go ahead with that. India and Luxembourg signed three agreements during the first summit in 20 years when Narendra Modi and his counterpart Xavier Bettel held the first summit in 20 years. They both agreed to sign that the Luxembourg Stock Exchange and SBI would the agreements were signed between these two, and they both believed in furthering and further strengthening of their economic relationships. 2611 mastermind Hafiz Saeed has been sentenced to 10 years jail in illegal funding case by Pakistan anti-terrorism court, which I feel is just an eyewash because of the much awaited FATF ruling, and it is a part of it, but we can never be sure. Previously also he was in the jail for sentence in jail, but he ultimately came back after a few months. So this is just an eyewash. Let's see how the world takes a view of this, and especially the FATF. This is where we can squeeze Pakistan. The in progress, Pakistan Prime Minister, he visited Afghanistan. This was for us quite some time on a back burner. Pakistan, Afghanistan are not on a good terms, and that is good for us. But since Pakistan wants to assume a new role of playing the mediator and a peace broker between Taliban and US, the PM Imran Khan tries his stunts, but let's see if that becomes successful or not. Another major setback for Pakistan is that UAE has suspended visas for all Pakistanis after Imran Khan criticized UAE Israel ties. Remember, about 3-4 videos back, I said that UAE was improving its relations with Israel, recognized it as a country, and thereafter it was also allowing the flights to pass over it. Now, with all these things happening, Pakistan, which itself thinks now that it is the boss of the some kind of a Muslim Ummah, has criticized UAE, saying that that this is totally not correct for an Islamic world, and so on and so forth. And based on this, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, has suspended the issuance of new visas to the visitors from Pakistan. And Pakistan, not only Pakistan, but Turkey and 10 other countries until further notice. Al Qaeda ISIS linked groups are spreading COVID 19 as per the new conspiracy theories in a UN report. They says these the groups are allegedly followers are using COVID 19 as biological weapons, and they are finding out ways and means to spread this COVID vaccine. So maybe yes, it is a potent threat. So I don't know what kind of a delivery system they are now looking at. The point to take away in this is that China has won the Five Eyes group to stay out of its internal affairs. Now, what is this Five Eye groups? Five Eye group says it is US, UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. The Five Eye group countries said that they are keeping an eye and on the Chinese new rules after the disqualified opposition legislators in Hong Kong. So when this statement came from the Five Eye group saying that we are looking into China, then China kind of hit back and threatening that it will pluck off the eyes. So our overall matter, it is China is going in loggerheads with other countries, and more loggerhead it goes with other countries, better it is. So any question figuring out with India-China relationship, yes, they should find a place. A material has been used from the fruits that create energy, and it creates energy by absorbing the ultraviolet rays from sun, and it is called as the blue box as of now. It's a low cost biomedical device that can be used to detect breast cancers at home also, which you see at the right side of your screen. We have heard millennials, we are being going to always being referred as millennials and so, but now the Gen X Z, generation Z, or the people born between 1996 and 2016 will be called as zillennials. I hope I am pronouncing it correct, zillennials. And they say that these zillennials will be the ones who will be working as the workforce, and they will be taking over the millennials in income by around 2031. So maybe another 10 years the zillennials will take over and have big financial positions in the world. ISRO to launch Bhutan's satellite to space next year and train their engineers. And Narendra Modi, while launching the second phase of the RuPay card scheme, said that ISRO will be sending Bhutan's satellite in next year. He said that Bhutan and India have signed an agreement to increase the cooperation peaceful users to the outer space, and Bhutan in this aspect is also getting its training from ISRO in December. Nowadays, I think now the diamond is no more rare. A diamond has been created in lab as what it has formed in natural conditions. What it has been done is what you call a carbon particle was taken, and it was subjected to a pressure equivalent to 640 elephants standing almost like a tip of a ballet shoe, and that kind of a pressure was exerted on the carbon, and this pressure caused the carbon to form a diamond. The same kind of phenomenon which happens in the earth's crust or beneath the earth. So now probably this kind of diamonds will come in, and wherein a diamond can be created in a matter of 3 minutes. So if that is so, maybe the diamond will lose its sheen very soon. In yet another blow, the France has given a kind of ultimatum to Qatar that it should not and it will not allow Pakistan origin technicians to work on Rafale aircraft, and this is post the PM Imran Khan's criticism of French president after its comments on Islam. So France has outrightly told that if Qatar will not allow anyone to work on Rafale aircrafts, and France has also rejected their upgradation of Mirage fighters which they have. So overall a good thing, because a majority of our fighter bases are also from our fighters are also from France. So it's good that, and as such France has been a steady fast friend for India. The Asia Pacific Economic Corporation APEC leaders, including US President Donald Trump, have pledged to work towards a free, open, and a non-discriminatory trade in their first joint statement since 2017. There were a lot of things in this, but that was a long time that this is a good step what has been taken. This the host of this year's conference was the Malaysian Prime Minister. Yeah, this is what I was talking to. The Tibetan leader, Lobsang Sangye, the head of Tibetan government in exile, had visited the White House for the first time in 6 decades amidst US and China tensions. This visit is a kind of an indication to China that US already started recognizing the Tibet region, and and he was received when Sangye reached White House. He was received by U.S. State's Department. So it's a very strong message going out to China. The second edition of trilateral maritime exercise between the navies of India, Singapore, and Thailand, SITMEX 2020, commenced at the Andaman Sea, and this is a 2-day exercise which terminated in a non-contact at any sea in only format at sea only format in view of COVID restrictions. So basically, there was no jointmanship happening, but they carried out in their respective areas. There is a new technology now coming in there wherein Skoda is working on a system wherein it allows a person to put his car on a follow me mode or a follow manned one. In this case, like you are supposed driving your car and you have 4 more passengers who need to follow you, but they are not drivers. Then you put the car on a follow me mode, then this car keeps following the car number 1, including its speed, route, lane changing, etc., etc. So this is being used by using the radio transmission between two cars. Now see the advantages of this in the army lifestyle. If this is so, then you need not probably have one driver and have a convoy of your logistics convoy with this technology. So one driver takes it and it goes. So maybe think on these lines as to how this technology will help. India is planning to launch 4,000 crore deep ocean mission in 3 to 4 months. The Ministry of Earth and Science Secretary said the approvals are being obtained for the futuristic game-changing missions. Let's see what comes from these deep ocean sea initiatives. Ministry of Ayush says that Ayurveda doctors are allowed only 58 type of surgeries, and generally the Ayurveda doctors are not allowed any kind of surgeries, but there is a proposal wherein now they will be able to do minor surgeries. So there is already a tiff between on this issue, but let's see how does it come. PM Modi has launched a new scheme of water saying Har Ghar Nal Yojana to ensure water supply to about 3,000 UP villages, especially in the places of Uttar Pradesh, Sonbhadra and Mirzapur district via video conferencing. A total of about 5,555 crores have been named to providing drinking water to 41 villages in Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, this was point I was talking about. The government has allowed the postgraduate Ayurvedic doctors to perform the variety of general surgeries, ENT, ophthalmology, dental procedures after training. The IMA, however, says that this is not correct and it is corrupting the medical system. But let's see. The L&T, Larsen and Toubro, announced that it is construction arm L&T Construction has secured the contract to construct India's longest road bridge across Brahmaputra, connecting Dhubri in Assam to Fulbari in Meghalaya. So this would be the longest project, and it will be a 19 kilometers bridge which will reduce the distance between two states by around 250 kilometers. Just imagine a 19 kilometers bridge reducing distance of 250 kilometers. So a great project. Let's pray that it comes out well. India has announced about 1,000 projects worth of about 592 crores in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan has been our ally all the time, and we have been working on with it with a lot of infrastructure developments and other thing. And in India, in this lines only, is helping Afghanistan. It is recently announced the building of Shahtoot Dam, which would provide safe drinking water to about 2 million residents in Kabul city. India has successfully test fired its BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, and from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The cruise missile that was launched was in a top attack configuration. It successfully hit the target in Bay of Bengal with pinpoint accuracy. Now, Taiwan begins construction of a new submarine amid China's tension. We know that Taiwan is trying to break free from the clutches of China, and we also saw that Taiwanese armed forces were on alert because of the Chinese constant air interventions and air violations. And in this line, they are construction now planning to construct their own submarines, and this is basically a strong signal going to the Chinese, and this construction is with the help of US manufacturers. It, amid all these crises, China is still gifted about 2000, India has gifted about 2000 vials of remdesivir essential medicines to Nepal, along with the various other testing kits and PPE material to the foreign. It was handed over to the Nepalese Foreign Minister Pradeep Kumar Gayali, Gyawali, and it's somehow sad that only government per se is a Chinese puppet, and the people of China, Nepal, are still with us. The Foxconn has moved of the iPad production out of the China for the first time. This happened after the thing when all decided that the companies have been moving out from China, and we also know that Foxconn has already started assembling the iPhones in India at Chennai. India leases two US Sea Guardian drones, and this Indian Navy has leased the two MQ-9B version of Sea Guardian drones, unarmed versions of the Predator series. So basically, they'll not be without any kind of a missiles or anything. This has been leased from the US firm General Atomics for carrying out surveillance of Indian Ocean region. Now, with the Indian Ocean region and South China Sea being getting hot, there is a requirement to keep up with the surveillance. So therefore, this will be of great help, and they can be also be used onto the borders of Ladakh area. And these airborne, these UAVs have the capability to stay airborne for over 30 hours. So almost 1.5 a day they can be airborne. UAE finally stops issuing visa to citizens of Pakistan and 12 other countries, which we had discussed earlier. And in a recent development, the NSA Ajit Doval visited Colombo for a trilateral India, Sri Lanka, Maldives consultations on maritime and security cooperation. He was very well received by the Sri Lankan minister. Now, point to note here is, now China is also trying to get Sri Lanka to its base, and India is also trying. It is now probably Sri Lanka will probably look at the best player to go along with. Navy's Marcos have been deployed in the eastern Ladakh amid India-China standoff. The very proud naval Marcos are now being reportedly deployed in the eastern Ladakh region near the Pengong Tso Lake, and this they will also along with the Air Force Garud operatives operating, including India's Army's paramilitary force. So basically, all special forces are in that area for any kind of emergency contingencies. As part of the thing which we're discussing, India, Maldives, Sri Lanka have agreed to step up the intelligence sharing to tackle the common threats such as terrorism, cyber security, and national security, after a national security advisors level meeting which happened with Ajit Doval, and the dialogue between these three countries have resumed after 6 years of a gap. So it's nice that to see all this happening, and well, that was a very quick update which I tried to cover about almost about 40 topics in about 23 minutes, rather 24 minutes. Hope these will be of some help to you while assimilating many other main topics. That's all, my friends, and take care and have a great day.